Why is it wise to randomise? Well, there are 3 reasons. Number 1, confounding. And that just means that something else explains something that you think you found. Number 2, equipoise. That means you genuinely can't predict the answer. And number 3, things can always get worse. Your new intervention could actually be harmful. Imagine you've done a study that shows a significant association between karaoke singing and liver disease. Wow, that's incredible. Maybe not. People who sing karaoke often do it in pubs, and alcohol is sold in pubs. And of course, we know that alcohol is one of the most important causes of liver disease, and so it's got nothing to do with karaoke singing at all. Karaoke was a confounder. How does randomisation sort out confounding? Well, let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you're standing in front of a room of childcare decision makers, lawyers and social workers. Now you want to test a new intervention that helps these decision makers make better decisions for children in care. You divide the room in half and you offer your new intervention to those decision makers on the right-hand side of the room. It's a really wonderful intervention because it's a training course and you have a Greek chorus reinforcing each of the points made. And oh look, it works! But there's a problem. The lawyers are all sitting together because they know each other well. Many of them went to the same school and they bump into each other in court. Now, there are group differences between social workers and lawyers. Usually, more lawyers have gone to private schools. More social workers are women. Fewer lawyers are black. Turns out, your new intervention only works for people who went to private schools. The kinds of private schools where they still teach ancient Greek. And since the lawyers are mainly sitting on the right side of the room, and they are the ones who learn Greek at school, there's more chance that they will understand the messages from the Greek chorus. But we can try to fix this by randomising. We toss a coin as people come into the room. Heads you sit on the left, tails you sit on the right. Now your ancient Greek-speaking lawyers are spread nicely through the room, a bit like stirring chocolate chips into cookie dough. Oh dear. Now you can see that your intervention actually doesn't work for childcare decision makers. Why is it wise to randomise? Part 2. You're comparing your best practice with something that might be even better. Here's an example. Many children with cancer are entered into randomised controlled trials. Let's imagine a wee girl called Janie. She's got cancer, and if she gets good treatment, there's every chance that Janie's cancer will be cured and she'll go on to lead a normal life. So why would Janie's parents agree to her treatment being randomly allocated? Aren't they playing the lottery with Janie's health? Well, the doctors explain that if Janie is in the trial, she'll be randomised to either getting the best practice they can already give her, or to something that might even be better. That makes sense to Janie's parents. But it's only ethical for Janie to be in the trial if the doctors are genuinely uncertain. And that's what we call equipoise. And if you don't have equipoise, then it isn't ethical to do the trial. In modern randomised controlled trials, there will be a group of experts called the Data Monitoring and Ethics Committee, whose job it is to make sure that one group isn't getting a new treatment that's actually worse than the current best practice. And with all the extra scrutiny that comes with a randomised controlled trial, there's every chance that Janie will actually get better care, whatever she's randomised to, than she would have if she hadn't been in the trial. Why is it wise to randomise? Part 3. Things can always get worse. Your new intervention could actually be harmful. Here's an example. Back in 1939, more than 500 boys who'd committed crimes were randomised to either new services, counselling, tutoring, medical and psychiatric attention, summer camps, leisure clubs, or to just checking in with the research team. This study, led by Dr. Jean McCord, was one of the best randomised controlled trials ever conducted. 94% of these young men were followed up over 30 years. Well done to Dr. McCord and her team. But at every follow-up period over those 30 years, the men who had received the new services had committed more crimes. Why? Was it the summer camps? That's what Dr. McCord thought, that these young men came together at summer camps and taught each other new ways to commit crime. Just think, if Dr. McCord hadn't done that randomised controlled trial, we might have carried on thinking that summer camps were a cure for criminal behaviour. And boys would have carried on meeting up and learning to get better and better at committing crime. With all our best intentions, we would have been doing more harm than good all those years. So, just to summarise, there are 3 reasons why it's wise to randomise. Number 1, confounding. Confounders are things that actually explain what you think you've found. But if you randomise enough people, then your 2 groups will be identical, and the only difference will be your new intervention, and that gets rid of confounding. Number 2, equipoise. You will no doubt already be offering your patients or clients your very best practice. In a randomised controlled trial, you're going to offer them your very best practice or something that you think might be even better. Either way, you'll no doubt do it with extra scrutiny, and it's only ethical to do the trial if you genuinely don't know the answer. And number 3, things can always get worse. Even treatments that seem obviously good can actually have hidden harms, and you'll never know until you do a randomised controlled trial. And these are the reasons why it's wise to randomise.